Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're looking at the Seattle Seahawks versus Tennessee Titans Week 3 matchup based on analytics. And as you may or may not know, each week I collect all of the current 2017 NFL team data in order to analyze and project potential NFL performance. We are 2 weeks into the season, so it's not the biggest sample size ever. There's still lots of football to go. However, there will always be little nuggets of truth in every sample of data you see. And those little nuggets can become bigger nuggets or smaller nuggets as the season goes on. But I do think it's interesting to kind of track and see how teams evolve during the season in terms of what they're good at, what they're bad at, what situations they're successful at, and all those other sort of things when it comes to data work. And if you are new to the channel, all terms and definitions will be in the description. So if you're not familiar with any of the work that I do in terms of, what certain terms I'm talking about mean, just go to the description. Everything is there for you. So let's start with this matchup. So let's start with the NFL basics. So this is just the basic stat comparisons between the Titans and the Seahawks when it comes to offensive performance and defensive performance and special teams. So when you look at this matchup, the data has it as a dead even. I'm not like it's dead even overall in terms of the Titans and the Seahawks in this game. When it comes to the big differences based on the data is that the Seahawks have a better defense when it comes to preventing first downs. So the total D score is basically the defense's ability to prevent first downs, while the total O score is the offense's ability to create first downs. And when it comes to the total D score versus the total O score, the Seahawks are better when it comes to their defense in terms of preventing first downs, while the Titans are better when it comes to their offense creating first downs, while the Seahawks have been one of the worst offenses in the NFL when it comes to creating first downs. And the Titans are not exactly amazing either, but they are better, or at least they've performed better than the Seahawks in the last 2 weeks. And then, of course, when we get to some other sort of data points, in terms of turnovers, both of these teams, the Titans and the Seahawks, are very good when it comes to not turning the football over, so that's a positive. However, a big sort of issue for both of these teams, well, not both of these teams, but really just the Seahawks, is sack percentage. The Seahawks are pretty much bottom in the NFL right now when it comes to allowing sacks, whereas the Titans have been one of the best teams in the NFL when it comes to allowing sacks. And in terms of offensive score percentage, which is basically the amount of points you get on each offensive drive, the Titans have been one of the better teams in the NFL when it comes to that, while the Seahawks have been one of the worst teams in the NFL when it comes to that. So the Seahawks offense has just not really been performing that well, while the Titans offense has at least been able to put up points whenever they're on the football field when it comes to their offense. When it comes to defensive side of the ball, this is, again, a big disparity. The Titans' defense is just non-existent, has been giving up a ton, been very, very low when it comes to defensive prevention of score percentage, whereas the Seahawks have been fairly better in terms of this. So, again, this is just the disparities. You have one team that has a very good offense, at least the offense is putting up points, where you have another team that doesn't have the best offense but has a very good defense. And then when it comes to things like defensive turnovers and defensive sacks, the Titans have been better in terms of creating turnovers than the Seahawks in the last 2 weeks, whereas the Seahawks have been better when it comes to creating sacks compared to the Titans creating sacks in the last 2 weeks. Of course, that may change this week, considering they're playing a team that's given up a lot of sacks the first 2 weeks. When it comes to interceptions, it's pretty much even. Looking at special teams, the Titans are doing very, very well when it comes to punt returns, not so well when it comes to kick returns. The Seahawks are actually doing a lot better when it comes to kick returns. And in terms of defensive special teams, the Titans are doing very well when it comes to preventing kick returns compared to the Seahawks, whereas the Seahawks are a little bit better when it comes to preventing kickoff returns overall. But they're both below average. Both of these teams are below average when it comes to preventing kick return yardage in the NFL so far. When it comes to field goal percentage, the Seahawks are better than the Titans in this particular category. It is very early, though. The one thing I would say about field goal percentage is usually it takes a bit more weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, to really get a hold of how well your field goal percentage is. So, there's a lot of teams that have 100% field goal percentage right now, a ton of teams. So this shouldn't be the most indicative thing of anything else. However, so far in the last 2 weeks, the Seahawks have done better than the Titans when it comes to field goal percentage. Extra point percentage has been better with the Titans. Well, the Seahawks just haven't really placed as well. And then, of course, punting average has pretty much been in favor. They're pretty much dead even when it comes to punting average. So overall, how do I call this? I really don't know, guys. It's really tough to say in terms of this particular matchup because, you look at the offense with the Seahawks, which hasn't really performing. You look at the Titans defense, which has been performing, but they're not exactly amazing. When you look at just the regular offensive split data, which we're going to get into, this may answer some questions, but overall, this just seems like a messy matchup with both of these teams. So let's hopefully some of the other stuff can fix it. So let's look at some other sort of data when it comes to completion percentage, or rushing offense in terms of first down conversion rate with the rush, and then of course first down conversion rate with the pass. So when you look at completion percentage data, when it comes to the Titans offense versus the Seahawks defense, the Seahawks defense is just better in many ways. They have a significantly better first down situation percentage, significantly better second, well not significant, but they have about they have a better sort of second down completion percentage area, and the only area that the Titans actually have the Seahawks on is in terms of third down. So that's the only area where the Titans have that. But this is just not a very good matchup on paper in terms of the last 2 weeks. You're basically talking about a Seahawks defense that is really exceptional at preventing first down completions versus a Titans offense that has struggled compared to the rest of the NFL when it comes to first down completion percentage. So this is definitely a matchup to watch and see how this evolves overall. And then when you get to the next sort of matchup between the Seahawks offense versus the Titans defense when it comes to completion percentage, the Seahawks offense has been doing pretty well when it comes to first down completion percentage, but the Titans beat them when it comes to second down completion percentage and third down completion percentage by a pretty sizable margin. So it might just be the same as it always was in terms of the Seahawks offense. They'll do pretty good when it comes to first downs, but second downs and third downs may not do that best. So basically, the Seahawks offense might just kind of be the same as it's been in the last 2 weeks based on the sort of matchup. And then when we get to rushing, so this is basically first down conversion rate success when it comes to rushing the football. When you look at the data, the Titans pretty much win on first down, second down, not so much on third down, but they've released the Derrick Henry. Of course, Derrick Henry had a very big game last week. Haven't done a video on Derrick Henry yet, although I did do one video on him in terms of Titans second rounders, and you can actually basically look that up on YouTube. And just type in Titans second rounders analytics and it'll pop up. But yeah, I'm really excited to see if Derrick Henry continues to be used because he could improve these numbers even more. But the bottom line is that the Seahawks rush defense has not been the best so far up to this point this year. So that's definitely something to kind of see what this matchup could look like in this game, because if the Titans decide to run the football a lot in this game, I think they could have lots of success from that kind of standpoint. And then when you look at the Seahawks rushing offense versus the Titans rushing defense, the Seahawks have advantages when it comes to first downs, third downs, and second downs is kind of won by the Titans, but slightly won by them. It's a pretty sizable difference, but I think for the most part, the Seahawks rushing offense shouldn't have too much trouble rushing against the Titans defense in terms of how they've performed in the last 2 weeks. And then we get to the nitty gritty. Not the most important thing ever, but definitely more important than rushing data, and that's passing conversion rate data. When you look at the Titans passing offense versus the Seahawks passing defense, when it comes to their first down conversion rate, the Seahawks are better when it comes to first downs. They're better when it comes to second downs, and the Titans are better when it comes to third downs. But this is just not something that's sustainable. This is definitely good in terms of crucial situations. So when the Titans are in crucial situations where they have to convert on third down with the pass, this could be an important matchup, in terms of the Titans' ability to, make a third down conversions in terms of those types of situations. However, this just spells anemic offense as well, in terms of just kind of the inability to do much on first downs and second downs with the passing offense. So this is something that I definitely kind of worry about, is that the Seahawks will be able to put the Titans into third and long situations a lot, and as a result, that might take them out of the running game, out of using Derrick Henry, and then ultimately not getting what they not getting into a rhythm, not getting not doing what they need to do in order to move the football and put up points. And then of course when you look at the flip side, so when you look at the Seahawks offense in terms of the Titans defense when it comes to passing split data, the Seahawks have an advantage when it comes to first downs, but they do not have an advantage when it comes to second down and third down. And the Seahawks have been just not good in terms of second down and third down. They've definitely been decent. They've been decent in first down situations, but they've not been decent when it comes to second down situations and third down situations. So that is something that they need to improve upon. They need to make big strides, because if this continues like this, if they continue this trend against the Titans, I think it's gonna continue. They're going to continue having issues because of this. So ultimately, who do I think is going to win this game? Honestly, guys, I really don't know. It's very early amount of data. If I really was gonna pick a team to win, I would say possibly the Titans, if they can exploit with Derrick Henry. If Derrick Henry can get in there and exploit the rush defense of the Seahawks, which has not been the best in the last 2 weeks. I mean, the passing defense has been pretty dang good. But if the Titans are able to rush the football with Derrick Henry and do really well with that, if they release the Henry again, I think that this definitely is something that could go in the Titans' favor. I think sack-wise, I think the Titans will be able to exploit some of the offensive line issues in terms of the Seahawks, because they've been having issues in terms of that. And you also have to understand that the Seahawks have just not been very good when it comes to scoring on every single drive as well, where the Titans have been. Despite some of the inefficiencies of their offense, they have been able to get points on the board on pretty much every single drive that they've had this year, compared to the rest of the NFL. So ultimately, I'm leaning towards Titans, but again, it's really evenly matched. You have an offensive-centric team versus a defensive-centric team. Both teams are inefficient in many ways, in many different splits. So. I'll kind of go Titans here, but again, to me, it's probably a push. I don't want to say tie, but it could be a tie game, because both these teams have fairly big strengths and weaknesses on both sides, and they just match up in very unique ways in terms of both of each other. So I guess I'll go with the Titans, but again, based on the data, it's really a toss-up in terms of who to pick, but I'll go with the Titans just by the assumption if they let Derrick Henry do what Derrick Henry is best at, that I think that this definitely can be a win for the Titans. So of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace. Thank you.